Olympiakos 3, Real Madrid 4. 4 goals scored by Kylian Mbappe. You guys almost ruined Mbappe's day today, or is Mbappe's night. What's wrong now? What happened? Tell us what happened.
Yeah, well, first of all, like when the matches came up, the fixtures came up, that having like I think 5 away games or something like that, 5 to 6 away games to play. No,
I thought it was
was
4
kind
home games, 4 away games for everybody.
no, ours we are having like five. I think after this one, we still have another away game again.
Ah,
So for the last all the matches are for the matches, the previous matches are away now. It's away games.
Liverpool, you played
So
away.
yes,
What you called? Now today again
what
away. Olympiakos
La
away.
Liga, yeah, away. All is away. I think our next game too is away. So I knew that, and again, even before that, the defense has been shaky. Denoising started well, and eventually, after his injury and everything, he came back and was kind of struggling, too slow to react, and everything. Everything around our defense has been shambolic. Then, not to even talk about the midfield, and other things again. So I wasn't surprised actually. What I was praying for coming into this game was that let's have the win, regardless of how many goals we're going to concede. Let's have the win. And my fear was that like we don't normally score many goals. So and if you see today, what saved us was the fact that we were ahead with so many goals, and even though they equalized, like it became 4-3 at the full time. So that was what saved us. If you look at Barca last season, they conceded a lot of goals, but they scored so many goals, and that was what kind of helped them. So today, I'm not annoyed because if you look at it in the defensive lineup, we only had one centre back, one natural centre back at the defensive lineup. Our top
That's
goalkeeper has not been
Asensio, right?
essential. Yeah, our first choice of keeper is out for injury. This is Looney's first game of the season. So even
But
though many of
will you really blame Looney for the
no, I'm
goals?
not. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. This is his first game of the season. Even though, like, I think none of those, and I don't think any Madrid fan will come out and blame Looney for any of those goals because if you look at the last goal that he scored, he was even fuming. He was even shouting at the last goal that he was scored. He was even shouting at the defenders. Nobody was marking that El Kaibi guy. Nobody was marking him. The guy was almost anytime a cross comes in, nobody is there to mark him. And that was what showed that our defense were lacking, even though we have not been good at the defensive side and all that.
Yeah.
So coming into the game with one centre back, having Felamendi and Carreras to make shift as centre backs, and Arnold, who everybody knows that he's not really that good in defending and all that, definitely is a cause for alarm. But the positive part of it is that we've acquired the 3 points, even though the performance. But seriously, I'm not going to rate like the defense. Yeah, they perform poorly, but none of them is not really their fault. What I was even expecting Xabi Alonso to do prior to this game was that I was expecting him to pick up at least one centre back from the Castilla team. If you can remember, that was what I was vouching for last season against
Yep.
Carlo Ancelotti. That whenever there's a kind of deficit in our defensive lineup, we can as well go to the Castilla team, bring in somebody, just like the Asensio was brought up, bring in somebody and then fill up that gap. So I was expecting him to bring at least a centre back, even if he's not going to start. Maybe towards the ending of this game, you can now bring him in to complement to try to instead of that Frank Garcia that he brought in, at the ending of that game, he might as well bring in that, Castilla centre back to kind of solidify the defense and everything. So, but that was not what he did. And I think I'm not going to blame, the players or
Totally right.
this thing.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
another thing I want us to talk about is that, yeah, Vinicius performed very well today. But earlier this week, a report came out that Vinicius will not be extending his contract at Real Madrid. I don't know how true it is, but that was what I read. Yeah, I think I forgot what I read, but I know I read something like that Vinicius will not be renewing. So what do you have to say about that? Do you think
Yeah,
Vinicius? Do you think
I
Real
think
Madrid?
part of
Do you
the
think that Real Madrid should try as
part
much as possible to keep Vinicius?
no, like the thing is that part of the
Because
rumors
there
that
are
came
rumors
out.
that he has problem with Alonso.
Yeah, yeah. So part of the rumor that came out was from a reliable Madrid journalist, I think Mario Cartagena. So it's something that is worth looking into. And there's this saying that in every rumor there's an atom of truth in it and all that. So I feel that Vinicius Junior and his team, like there is something they are looking for. Probably that, jumbo salary, maybe him being the highest paid player in the team and everything. So even if the talks of Xabi Alonso was brought into the discussion, the issue of Xabi Alonso, benching him and all that was brought into the discussion. I believe it's just an excuse. It's just a kind of a way for his team to like kind of threaten Madrid that if you if you don't, part of why we are stalling the contract is because Vinicius Junior is not well treated by Alonso and everything.
Yes.
And even yesterday on this issue, Madrid fans are kind of divided on this issue, and part of it is that Xabi Alonso subs him off early or something like that. And me, personally, I don't see anything wrong with that. The coach is on the pitch. He trains with these players. He must have seen something that we from the like back of our screen are not seeing. That was why maybe he decided in that El Clasico game or which game self that he subbed him off and everything. And if you look at it again, Vinicius Junior is one of the players that has the highest appearances since Xabi Alonso took over as a Madrid coach. So what are you complaining? And I think there's also a part of Madrid fan base or some journalists that are talking around the fact that it's not even about Vinicius being subbed off. It's about Rodrigo. Vinicius is trying to Vinicius, Valverde, and some other players that they are like downplaying or kind of talking back at Alonso, talking down at Alonso because of how he's treating Rodrigo, and some other players. And the thing is that while we're having our session yesterday, I even said something that uh, it's like me, I'm a kind of person that I don't condone disrespect towards a manager. I think here there was a time we talked about that Osimhen issue with Finidi George. Finidi George is not like the finest manager in Nigeria has ever produced or something, but regardless, he's your manager. You cannot come on Instagram live and start bashing at your manager or something like that. I don't think any coach in the world would take that. So it's the same thing with Vinicius Junior. If you have a problem with the manager,
It's,
go and meet the board or the president, ask him to call the manager, then put the three of you, discuss your problems and iron it out. You don't need to use your agent or use your Rock Nation agent or anything to come and start spewing some things in the team or something like that. So I just feel that it's just another tactics for them to kind of, find a way to improve, to make Madrid, force Madrid's hand into, ceding to their demands in terms of his contracts, renewal and everything. So I think that's just the issue surrounding it. I mean, look at players like Mbappe. Look at Bellingham. Yes, Mbappe has not been benched uh, periodically in the team, but Bellingham, like even today's game, he did not start. He came in the second half. But I don't think Bellingham will ever complain. Like even if he's going to complain, they are not the kind of players that you see them on media, social media, being talking and everything, because it's going to affect the morale of your team. So if you have a problem with the manager, I heard that even Valverde had is part of that Vinicius team or something like that. Fine. You as the captain, you are one of the captains of the team. So you are the second captain. Go and talk to the manager. Like, okay, Gaffer, this is what I feel. This is what the players are talking about in the dressing room. I feel I should let you know. And even me, I share some of the opinions of blah 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 blah. You talk to him, and then you listen to what he has to say. So and the good part of all this saga is that another report came out that the Madrid board and management have said that they are 100% behind Alonso, whether he's going to sub off Vinicius or he's going to sub in Rodrigo or anything, they're 100% behind him, and that is exactly what I expect from the what they call it, from the board. The thing is that if a team like Madrid, you decide to give the players power, like the player power, then you sack this manager, another manager will come. It's going to be the same thing because that means that no manager is having an independent decision in that team. Any player can just stand up and revolt against the manager, and then the board will sack the manager. It doesn't work like that. And Xabi Alonso is also a Madrid legend. He knows the pressure in the team. I think he even said it in his pre-match conference that Madrid is a team that demands, a lot of pressure and everything. The moment you come to Madrid, you are expected to, click and everything. So he's a Madrid legend. He knows all this, and I'm very sure what he's doing might not manifest now, but it may manifest later. Look at Arsenal. When Arteta came in, he had to, it's his first season, even though he won like I think the FA Cup or something with their Aubameyang and co. But later on, he had to dispose some of them
Exactly.
before he built up this
Yeah.
team today that they are able to that they are able to beat Bayern Munich today. They are like the number one unbeatable team in Europe currently. So like look at PSG today. Luis Enrique when he first came, he was struggling. But look today, look at PSG today. Look at how they are playing. They won the Champions League last season, their first ever Champions League trophy, and more trophies to come for them. So whether we like it or not, Madrid players are used to, a coach that will kind of cuddle them, spoon feed them, especially the favorite ones, Vinicius, and some other first choice players.
Mm.
But Xabi Alonso is not Carlo Ancelotti. Xabi Alonso is more like Guardiola self. A player the player that will give you instructions, and if you don't follow his instructions, he will bench you. He's that kind of manager. So he doesn't care who you are. Today at Man City, if Haaland says that he's leaving that team, Guardiola will sell him. He doesn't care. He will sell him. So that is just it. A player, this is Madrid. No player is bigger than the club. But when Ronaldo came in that he wants to, they should improve his contract or he was going to leave, they showed him the door and he left. The same thing with Sergio Ramos and co. These are Madrid legends who are even better than Vinicius as Madrid legends.
Yeah.
They came and they left. And the team is still there. We're still winning trophies. We're still doing the best we can. So that whole, issue behind me, I'm a kind of person that I prefer a player to talk on the pitch. If you feel that the manager is benching you or something, whenever the manager gives you the chance, show him. Show him. Let the manager even be the one to be regretting why he's not playing you. When you come in and you give him a kind of a performance, and the manager will think twice and say, Kai, why did I even bench this guy? I should have started him with something like that. You're even giving him a room to doubt himself. So, but when you talk outside the pitch, and then when you are brought into the pitch, you are just there running around doing anything. And again, maybe before I go, the last thing I would say is that if you look at part of the problems I feel the team has with Xabi Alonso is the fact that he's asking everybody to participate in almost everything, especially the defending aspect of the game. Like if you lose the ball, you come back and you press that guy that is having the ball. Like it's not something like we saw today in today's game. You see that Vinicius will lose the ball and he'll be walking. Mbappe will lose the ball and be walking. Other Gula and Co, they will lose the ball and they'll be walking. So what he wants is if you lose the ball, even if you are not the person that lose the ball, you can go in and come and press. That is what he wants. I think that's what most modern coaches are doing now. So and that is what he wants. The team will attack at the same time, and at the same time, no individuality. Let everybody participate in the entire team process, and you get the success. Just like the way we've seen Arsenal today, we are seeing PSG and every other team that is doing well in Europe today. So I don't see that, because if Vinicius wants to leave, let him go. Fine, let him go. There are so before Vinicius came in, we had Ronaldo, we had so many other players that are far better than him. So let him go. Madrid has a pull factor that any player today, if Madrid
one
wants
of
to
the
buy him,
reasons why people are saying that Vinicius is unhappy. A lot of people have said it that the coming of Mbappe has affected Vinicius. And now Mbappe today scored 4 goals. So what do you have to say finally before we go about Mbappe and the game? Finally, let's round up.
Yeah. This if you look at from the beginning of the game, I saw Mbappe's face. He was pissed off. Like I don't know, maybe because he hasn't scored, in the past 3 games or something like that. So he was not happy. He was kind of pissed off. I didn't know exactly what caused it. And then after that goal, he was more pissed off. He was not even smiling. That normal Mbappe smile. He was not even smiling. So and then immediately I saw him, one-on-one with the keeper. I just know that Mbappe will score that goal. And then before you know, he already has 2 goals to his name and everything. So I just know that every player has a role in that team. And part of the problem that we're having in this current Madrid team is that we hold on to the ball too long. Our strikers, our midfielders, our defenders. There are times where all you have to do is just one touch pass and
We're
we
running out of
move.
time. First round
But
of
most of the times we just everybody wants to just hold on to the ball, hold on to the ball, hold on to the ball. So, but today Mbappe gave a man of the match performance, and I think Mbappe is back because he has been in a goal drought, and we are going to see more of Mbappe coming to the other season. Go as we go along in the season.
All right, Hamisu, thank you very much for joining me. I'll see you next time.
Yeah, thank you.